All right, guys, questions for Coach?
Hey, Coach.
Hi, Coach.
How's it going? Hope you had a good Christmas and New Year with the family and all that fun stuff.
It was good. We normally doing Christmas like everybody, and then running to family and relatives' house, and then I'm trying to run out and go watch high school tournaments. And so this year we stayed home. So it was cool.
Sounds relaxing.
A little bit, yeah.
I know you still have a few kids there to make it interesting. So, but anyway, jumping into the basketball side of things with you guys, it's been a while since you guys have played. Obviously some postponements, cancellations, those kinds of things as expected to pop up throughout the year. With the long layoff like you have and with the young team like you have now entering conference play, how much of a concern is that kind of going into this weekend?
Yeah, you kind of get in a rhythm when you start playing in the season. And so, but this season's not had any rhythm to it at all. And so we just have to, I think the best rhythm we've had has been consistently having hard practices, good practices. And so that's the positive. Every year when we come back from Christmas break, we've had a hard time kind of getting the game going. And so last year, we had a pretty good non-conference season, and then we come back and stumped our toe a little bit down at North Texas, and then lost a tough game against Rice. And so, I'm telling you, it's a legitimate concern to make sure that we're ready to go. We've had good practices. We've done scrimmages in practice, try to recreate that simulation, but it's not the same as playing games. And so that part of it, and especially with the young team, that part of it is still unknown.
Coach Drew Tennis with the College Heights Herald. So with Charlotte postponing your match and same going with Samford, how are you guys doing with staying healthy during the season?
Yeah, so far, I'm real proud of all of our girls, and they've done a great job of. We talk almost every day. We talk frequently, if not every day, about maintaining your social distancing, wearing your mask, washing your hands, doing those things to try to because even if you do those things, that's not a guarantee. If that was a guarantee, then all of us would probably be healthy. So we've got to do everything we can, and we have done that. Right now, everybody's in good shape. We're trying to get ready for this game at La Tech. It's a tough team. We had a big battle with them here last year and went down to the wire. And they had a lot of momentum going into the end of the season. They got pretty much the same team back. So it'll be a tough ball game. But right now, everybody's healthy. They've worked hard, and we're just getting ready for this trip.
Coach Jared with the Daily News again. I was talking to Rick about this, last week, and then after their games, they're kind of in a different situation than you guys are because of their experience that they have. But nobody has really done these back-to-back games and back-to-back days. I guess what's your approach to that with a young team, kind of the opposite of what Rick has? And, what did you learn from this first weekend of watching it in Conference USA?
Yeah, the two things that I thought would be important are, and one is experience and the other is depth. And those are the two things that seem to make up the biggest difference, because if you've got some depth in your roster, then you're obviously better prepared to play back-to-back days. If you've got experience, then you're still better prepared because you kind of know how to manage your energy level. You know how to play through some stuff, even some adversity. And I think the hardest thing to do is going to be able to go on the road and win these games. And so, I watched our men play, and I think it's a good example of how difficult it is. I mean, they're a great team, and they had their hands full with a tough Charlotte team. And so I think that for us, our job is to focus just on the first game. We're focused on that first game and play as well as we can and try to put 4 consistent quarters together, and then we'll worry about Saturday when Saturday gets here.
Coach Drew Tennis with the College Heights Herald. What have you been working on with the team over the break, and do you think that they've been developing defensively?
Defensively, they've done a pretty good job. Our breakdowns in defense haven't been quite as much the defense itself as much as it is the defensive rebounding. That's where we've really had the biggest miss, is giving up too many offensive boards. But what we've been working on, taking care of that ball, trying to make sure we don't have 22 turnovers. So they're shooting the ball well in practice. They're all exceeding and doing well in all of our shooting drills and our goals that we have. Really, the thing that we're working on the most is making sure we move the ball and get the ball in the best shooter's hands and get good shots and not turn over between there from the time we have it to the time they get it. And so that's really what we're trying to make sure we do is good ball movement, good player movement, defensively make sure we're containing those drives, make sure we're staying low, and then try to take care of those defensive boards.
Coach, it's Jeff Whitesy from WBKL. I remember you telling me that, playing games is how you guys get better. How significant is it that you guys have had these games canceled or postponed? How significant is that to the development of your team?
Yeah, Jeff, that's a great question. It's a good point. I spent 48 hours both times we lost a game on the phone trying to find a game that we could schedule and replace that game with, because that's how important it is. And I remember sitting in my truck the second night after we found out Charlotte wasn't able to play, about 8 o'clock at night, and realized this just isn't going to work. And the short turnaround probably wasn't going to, even if we were able to find somebody, wasn't going to be advantageous to our girls, to our team. And the best thing we could do is just shift our focus and start getting ready for La Tech. And that was tough because I think we need to play. They want to play. But this is the way it is sometimes. You just got to be flexible and got to adjust with whatever is thrown your way. And so, this may happen again. And we'll get on the phone again and we'll try to find another game if it happens again. But I think the players adjusted well. We took Sunday off. That was probably good for them to get a day off. And then we got back in the gym and started getting ready.
Coach, you mentioned taking care of the ball has been one of the areas of focus. La Tech comes in with the second best scoring defense in CUSA, top turnover margin in CUSA, and the top defensive rebounding percentage in Conference USA. Looking at what they do defensively and the personnel that they have, what kind of challenges do they present to you guys?
Yeah, that is the challenge. Their personnel, they're very active, very aggressive on the ball. They do a great job of pressuring the passes. And so that's our job. That's what we've been working on the most, is making sure we take care of the ball and make really the easy pass the most important to me right now. I don't need to see the great pass. We just need to see how many times we can complete an easy pass to get a good shot. And so that's going to present the biggest problem for us with La Tech, because even their defensive pressure bothered us last year. And we had Whit Creech on the floor, and Whit Creech never turns the ball over. And so, that's what we're working on the most, is making sure we're strong with the ball and then trying to get good shots. And then we'll have to do a good job on defensive end ourselves and try to create some turnovers. We've done a decent job of getting some turnovers. We're just turning it over ourselves too much.
Coach Drew Tennis with the College Heights Herald. So from the start of the season to this point, are there any players on the team that you kind of see as leaders?
Well, I think Meryl Abdegawad has stepped up in a leadership role. She's the one that is really reaching out to every player all the time, trying to encourage them and lift them up and help them to continue to work hard and get better. I think Mariah Haywood and Fatou Poy have tried their best to also take leadership roles on the court and encourage the freshmen to continue to work. So I think Meryl's been the biggest bright spot in her energy and her focus, where we've just got to play better. That's what it is. I think the chemistry is real positive. The effort's really strong. We just need to execute better, play better, take care of the ball, shoot the ball better. And I think if they have some success, then I think that success will breed success. So that's kind of where I'm real proud of all the girls, how they've worked hard together. But Meryl clearly has been the most positive leader on this team this year.
Coach Jared, again, I know you talked about them having quite a few players back from last year. Walker, Robertson, Dixon, Winto, I think that's how you pronounce it. But, she had 20
number one.
points.
I call her number one.
Yeah, the one that had 6 threes last year.
That's right.
They all hit you in different ways, at different times. What kind of challenges do they present offensively, even though defensively is kind of, it seems like is what butters their bread, but offensively, what do they do well?
They move the ball real well, and they attack the basket really well. And our players watched their game against Marshall, and I made sure to make a point the next day in practice that I didn't want our players to assume that they were not a good shooting team, because they did not shoot the ball well at Marshall. They had good looks. They had trouble getting that ball to fall. And this team really can, especially at home. They're a good shooting team. And just like you said, Jared, that little number one lit us up 6 for 10 from the three-point line last year. And so they've got several kids that can put that ball in the basket. So we're going to have to do a good job making sure we're on that ball and we're pressuring that ball and not giving up those driving lanes to the basket for Walker, who was really, really effective for them at Marshall, getting to the rim. And she kept breaking players down every time she got the ball and got to that charging arc. And Dixon can do the same thing. So they got a great trio. They got some good kids playing inside, and Robertson, and some kids coming off the bench. So they've got a really strong team. And that started gelling last year towards the end of the season. They gave Rice all they could handle. I think they gave Middle Tennessee a tough game. They gave us a tough game, and they had a big win in the conference tournament. I think they were one of the hottest teams at the end of the season last year.
Coach, Drew Tennis with the College Heights Herald. Is there any update on Raneem?
Raneem's doing well. She's on campus, kind of going through her protocol. And so right now we just have to wait and see how things work out with all the things. She's happy to be here. We're happy she's here. We're happy that her father's doing well. And but right now there's no real change in the fact that she's got to go through all the steps and make sure everything's health-wise is okay so that she can play.
Anything else? All right, thanks, guys.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Coach. Have a safe trip, guys.